Hi YouTube, it's Ty, and I'm going to try to get through this video without a lot of noise from my dogs. They are in the background, so please forgive me. Trying to get this voiceover done so that I can get caught up on my video for you all, one for every day for the month of May. And this is just some examples of what looks to be colorist replacements, casting replacements for TV shows. I think they're all sitcoms, maybe except for one that I have. But the when I was thinking about this, and actually I think I thought about it because of a comment that was left under my very first colorism video. I think it was Poetry again who talked about the replacement of a character on My Wife and Kids, and we'll get into that on this video. But the most notable replacement that came to my mind was the replacement of Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was a show that I actually enjoyed watching in the 90s. And once the original Aunt Viv was gone, Janet Hubert, I believe is the way that her name is pronounced. Once she was replaced with Daphne Maxwell Reid, I didn't watch the show anymore. It was already I was already kind of a little bit over it. It was getting a little bit silly for my taste, but I never saw the episodes with her. I heard that she didn't quite have the fire that Aunt Viv had, and one of the things that Poetry said is it seems like when characters are replaced with lighter skinned women, that they tend to be ditzier than the original. So I don't know. Maybe that's something that you all can leave in the comments. If you all continue to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after Aunt Viv was replaced, was the new Aunt Viv just a ditzier wife? Was she a ditzier version of her? And then My Wife and Kids. This is a show that I did not really enjoy that much to begin with, but I'm talking about the replacement of Jazz Ray Cole with Jennifer Freeman. And maybe this was the show. I think that Poetry was saying that when the child was replaced, that that the new lighter skinned actress was like a ditzier version of the original one. And again, I watched a few episodes of this show when it first started. Not really a big Damon Wayans fan outside of In Living Color, and never been a big Tisha Campbell fan, and I didn't know any of the other children who were in the cast. So I personally didn't even get to see this replacement. It was something that I heard about. And I just wondered, why they couldn't replace her with someone who just looked a little bit more like her. Things happen, and I understand. But it was nice for me to get to see this young lady in the quad on which aired on BET for 2 seasons. She played a character named Sydney, who was sophisticated, and she definitely had her issues, but it was nice to see that she's still working. And I don't know whether Jennifer Freeman is still working or not. I don't keep up with actors and actresses like that, especially if it's, regarding shows that I never watched to begin with. And not that I wish any harm on anyone. I hope if these young ladies want to continue acting, that they are able to act. It's not their fault the way that casting went. And so, but anyway, like I said, it was nice to see this young lady, Jazz Ray Cole is the way that I think that her name is pronounced, still working. Always good to see. And then another change that I did not know about, Family Matters. Harriet Winslow was originally played by Jo Marie Payton, and I thought that she was the mother of the show throughout the entire series. That's another show that I stopped watching probably 2 or 3 seasons in. It was just a little bit corny for my taste. Nice to see a black family on TV and everything, but the whole Urkel thing, and I did get to see a few episodes with Stefan Urkel or whatever the hell it was, but I understood. I just learned this year, like maybe a couple of months ago, that she was replaced with a lighter skinned actress named Judy Ann Elder. don't know what the difference in character was, but I'm always wondering like why things happen, and sometimes it's contract negotiations, sometimes it's health reasons, whatever, for whatever reasons people need to leave. Why can't they just find an actress who looks closer to the original actress? And then there's Judy. Like we said, brown-skinned girls don't even have a place in the conversation. So her little brown ass went upstairs and never came back down, and nobody cared anymore about Judy. So that's that. Bloop. Next, back to My Wife and Kids. Were there just some colorist casting directors on this show? As I understand, and this is something that I learned recently as well, I did not know that Megan Good was ever on the show, and that she played Junior's girlfriend, who was the son on the show. And apparently she was replaced by an actress named Brooklyn Sudano, I believe is how her name is pronounced. I had long stopped watching the show by the time I understand that that Junior's girlfriend was pregnant. So I guess he would have been in his late teens, early 20s, probably late teens. I guess that would have been part of the storyline, that it's a teen pregnancy that they're dealing with. But I had tapped out of the show long before this. But Megan Good, extremely beautiful, gorgeous girl. I don't know if it was other issues going on with her. I don't know why she left. But again, why not just a brown-skinned girl who could replace her, who looked similar? And then my thing is, both of these young ladies are beautiful young ladies, and this is who their boyfriend was on this show. And it just seems like, and not to say that this is an ugly young man, certainly not the best looking man, not as good of a good looking young man as Megan Good is a beautiful young lady. And, gap teeth is not necessarily something that people always go for. Kind of just a funny looking dark skinned kid, right? And not to shade him for his skin tone, but I'm just saying, could there be an equivalent of a dark brown, a woman that dark on TV to be cast in a show and not be replaced, and have really good looking guys to be her love interest on the show? It's like not much is expected from these guys, and it's just an observation. And so here's one that worked in the opposite. True Blood is a show that I've never watched, but as I understand, the character Tara was originally cast by Brooke Kerr, is the actress who was cast to play Tara. And that's the actress on the left, the light-skinned actress. She filmed the pilot that never aired, and somehow, miraculously, ended up being replaced by the darker-skinned actress whose name is Rutina Wesley. And I hope that I have that correct, because I'm not familiar with either one of these ladies. Two good-looking girls, and their features, something about them seems similar, and it could just be that the photo that I picked, they have similar hair, and the low-cut white dresses on. But anyway, just interesting. It rarely seems to happen that way, except for Sammy. Sorry, you guys. My dog is dreaming in her sleep, and she's barking. Okay, excuse me. It seems like it rarely works that way, but maybe for guys, it works that way a bit more often than others. So here we have, and again, I'm showing my age. I grew up watching the Jeffersons. Lionel Jefferson, originally cast by Mike Evans, and then later cast by Damon Evans, but then recast again by Mike Evans, who would play Lionel Jefferson in the last episodes of the show. And this is, a switch. Yeah, we go from brown to a dark skinned man, or maybe some people would just consider him to be a dark brown man. But does that happen more often for men than women? Tell me if you all know of any other casting changes like this, whether it's, and the issue being that whether, if you start with a light-skinned character, keep a light-skinned character. If you start with a dark-skinned character, keep one. But it seems like for women, more often than not, if they're going to be recast, they are cast from darker to lighter. Just an observation. If I've got it wrong, let me know. Give me some examples in the comments section, please. I'd love to continue this conversation with everybody. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's just keep this conversation going. I'm enjoying the dialogue. Have a good